Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Soraya, and today I want to talk about the twin flame surrender stage, finding peace in the chaos. So this is what makes all the difference in the world on the twin flame journey. If you want to have a good time, surrender. If you want to have a hard time, don't surrender. But I want to dive into, how to surrender, like what surrender is, like what that looks like on the twin flame journey, so that you can know really what I'm talking about here, and end the suffering if you're experiencing it. So, super important subject. And, speaking of my favorite twin flame ascension school class, most people say that they don't have like a particular favorite because they, obviously there's so many that are so good. And they are just so good. But the reason I say that this class is my favorite, it's called the Final Surrender, and you have it with the all class pass. But the reason why I say this one's my favorite is because this is the one that I have returned to the most. This is the one, like literally, I have watched this Twin Flame Ascension School class and like come into union like the next day. This class is so powerful. It's so important. And it's like, in my mind, it's a classic. I remember when it first came out and it was just like, so good. It's so good. Love the Final Surrender class. But anyway, I could go on, and if I want to have a YouTube video just talking about the Final Surrender class, maybe one day. But definitely a dive into this subject. And so, this is super important. Like I said, literally I would watch this class, make some new choices, do some healing as I'm watching it, of course, and union the next day. Like, I mean, really, it's that powerful. This class will allow things to move forward on your twin flame journey. If you're feeling stuck or blocked or, kind of trapped in a pattern or feeling miserable with the journey, feeling like it's too much or it's overwhelming or whatever it may be, like this, the class is just so good. Again, I have to make a YouTube video about my love for the class because I'm already, what is this, 2 minutes and 30 seconds in? I'm still talking about the class. But I'm going to share some things with you today to help you out. So, surrender. Why is this so important? The reason why surrender is so important on the twin flame journey is because everything is perfect in spiritual truth with your twin flame. You're already one in spiritual truth. You're already harmonious at the core. Separation doesn't actually exist. Even if you guys didn't speak for 20 years and you lived in different parts of the world and you had nothing to do with each other for decades, you guys would still be one. You guys have still made core choices at exactly the same moment over the course of those decades. You guys have been sharing the same inner world every step of the way. And like twin flames who heal separation, with Jeff and Shalia's work, they find this out. Like they'll spend some time apart while they're healing separation. And then when they attract their twin flame back into their life, they'll start asking their twin flame, what did you experience? And they had the same experience. Like they were going through the same thing. It might have looked different on the surface, but they were learning the same things. They were coming to the same realizations and making the same choices. I've had that experience. I've had those conversations with my twin, and it's really kind of interesting. It's a teaching thing. It's like you learn something from that because you're like, oh, we really were one that whole time. Like maybe we weren't talking because, separation, but my God, like we were not separate. We were very much one, living one life together. It just looked different on the outside. And so everything's perfect in spiritual truth. That's the good news. The good news is you don't have a problem you need to go and solve. There's not some crisis you have to avert. Everything's okay. The thing about surrender is it allows you to experience what is. You stop pushing against what is natural and you start just allowing things to be what they are. And you experience yourself as you naturally are. And your twin flame is you. And that means that you are aligning with your true self, your true vibration, which attracts by law of attraction the other person who shares your true vibration. And so surrender, it's counterintuitive because we think like, oh, I want this big thing. Harmonious twin flame union is such a gift, such a blessing, such a divine thing. It's such a divine experience. And I don't have to work really hard and make it happen. I don't have to control. I don't have to figure things out. I don't have to analyze things. I don't have to like come up with a game plan and like you're training for the Olympics or something. Like, no, you can just surrender to what is. And really the mirror, if you want to go like into like the spiritual science of how all this works, really what the mirror exercise is doing is it's releasing resistance. Jeff and Shirley talk about this in Twin Flame Ascension School. You're not gathering up pieces of you that are lost and integrating them in. You're releasing resistance to the good that you've called in. That's literally what Jeff and Shirley say. And it's true. I mean, you're literally like, everything is actually heavenly and perfect and wonderful. But we just have these upsets, these illusions that we're separate from our love, separate from our good, where we're hurting and afraid and upset. And when we love ourselves there with the mirror exercise, that upset dissolves and the resistance is gone. And then what do we experience but what was there all along? Like it's essentially kind of like a surrender practice, the mirror exercise. So really, everything is good. And a huge thing that can come up on the twin flame journey is that we're so used to things being really hard and feeling like we have to struggle for our good, feeling like we have to control, that sometimes there's like a period of like, kind of like a deprogramming or like I don't know, like letting go of that hypervigilant, stressful energy and realizing that actually everything's all right. When I feel like the second part of your life begins when you realize this on the twin flame journey, because it's like this changes the game. You know, it's like I was one of those people. You know, I speak a lot from experience here, you guys. I've learned some things over the years, and yeah, I was one of those people where like when I first found Jeff and Shalia's work and I discovered that it actually worked, like I did the mirror exercise for a time and I started getting results with my twin, and I was like, oh my God, like, first of all, twin flames are definitely real. Didn't fully believe that before that. Secondly, what Jeff and Shalia are saying is accurate and it works, you know, reliably. And then I was like, I'm gonna do this work and I'm gonna get the result. And I thought I was gonna like, you know, just take all this information and I was gonna figure it out with my mind and I was gonna discipline my way into my harmonious union. And I remember literally like just studying A Course in Miracles and studying Jeff and Shalia's book and watching Twin Flame Ascension School classes, taking all these notes. And it wasn't what I was doing. What I was doing was great, but the way I was going about it was very controlling energy. Let's just say it wasn't surrendered. And I was very stressed out all the time. I couldn't work hard enough. I would like stay up at night trying to get it right, trying to heal the right thing. It was kind of hellish. But I was very young in my inner work, very young on my journey back then. And it was a lesson that I had to learn, and hopefully one that will help you out so that you don't have to learn it the way that I did. I had to go on my journey, but yeah, you know, it's sometimes we have these really deep programming that we have to work so hard and we have to sacrifice for our good. We have to make a bargain. We have to give something up in order to have something. And that's just not how things work in the kingdom. You know, your twin flame is yours by birthright. It's your inheritance to be with your ultimate lover because God created you as one in the same moment. They belong to you. You belong to them in spiritual truth. You can't undo that. And so you also can't make it happen because it's already there. You just have to surrender to what is. Allow yourself to feel and experience the reality of your union and your oneness. And so really a powerful way to do this is really feeling into your heart and making a choice. Looking at the place where you feel like you can't surrender. You might even notice within yourself that there's this feeling of, I can't surrender because. Look at that a little bit closer. You may find that there's actually an upset there. You know, there's a fear, there's an upset, there's a resistance to letting go, and you can do the mirror exercise there. And if you feel open to making the choice and there's not like an upset there, you know, just make a decision right now that you're going to let go of control. And what you're going to do instead of control, you're not going to do nothing. You're not going to just sit there and just like, I don't know, wait for the unawakened twin over there to make a new decision. I'm just kidding. You guys are one. You make choices as one. So waiting on your twin flame, I just want to throw that out there. That's never going to work. So instead of doing that, what you're going to do is you're not going to try to control, and you're not going to wait for your twin flame to do something, because they won't, because you're waiting, they're going to be waiting. Instead, you're going to peacefully do the inner work. Live your life. Focus on yourself. Make your life about you. Be with God. Jeff and Shalia say in their book that the proper order of life is God, yourself, your twin flame, and then everyone and everything else. And so you and God, like, that's your home. That's at the top of your priority list. That is what is healthy. You're meant to live your life. God gave you your life, not to focus on your twin flame over there. He's not over there. She's not over there. You guys are one. But to be with your twin flame on the inside, that's where you're with God. God is your ultimate lover. That's the core of Jeff and Shalia's teaching. So in surrendering all of that control and all of that stuff that you were doing before, now you're able to focus on where your focus was always meant to go, which is on God and yourself. And subsequently, your twin flame is a part of that. But it's really about God and yourself. What do you want to do? How do you want to live your life? You know, what feels good for you? You know, what do you feel, what feels juicy to you to do? What do you feel passionate about? What's your life purpose? You know, where are you calling for love in your life and loving yourself there? Doing the mirror exercise, walking the twin flame ascension path that results in the full manifestation of that truth that you are one with your twin flame. It's just about you loving yourself and living your life. And it's safe to do that. It's safe to focus on yourself. And in doing that, you're really loving your twin. That's the beautiful thing about it is, you know, if you look at your twin and you know that they're suffering with certain things, you know that they're hurting, you know that they're going through something, because you're one, when you're focusing on yourself and loving yourself, guess what they're doing? They're focusing on themselves. They're loving themselves. They don't need you to do it for them. They need you to choose yourself. Because when you're loving yourself, they're going to be loving themselves. And both of you guys are contributing to your union. Both of you guys are healing in all the ways that God is guiding you to heal. So you don't need to go and try to have a codependent relationship with your twin. Just be with God and yourself, and God will take care of your twin just like God is with you, taking care of you. And yeah, everything just works. Everything is harmonious. Twin Flame Ascension School, the mirror exercise, everything that I share here in these videos, it's all designed to do one thing, and it's to reveal to you the perfection that is already there. You're not going to achieve something you already have. You're going to reveal something you already have. And surrender is the way to do that. The mirror exercise is what helps you surrender. And yeah, it's a choice fundamentally. It's a choice to focus on God and yourself, to love yourself, and to honor yourself in your heart, and to just be in like complete, like just to love yourself, to do what actually works for you, what actually feels good for you, to live your life. And just see what happens with your twin. I dare you, just see what happens with your twin over there. Things will change. It's a process. And if you're like, but I surrendered, but why isn't this changing over there? Go deeper into surrender, because there's still a bit of attachment associated with that. Sometimes these attachments can be a bit unconscious, but keep surrendering and keep walking the path. You will get the results, and you're going to feel a lot better doing it too, because when you're surrendered, you feel peaceful. When you're attached, you don't feel peaceful. That's a simple way to put it. So surrender, you want to go on this journey surrendered. You do not want the alternative, trust me. So hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, please do give it a thumbs up. I have all of the links if you guys would like coaching with me. I do one-on-one sessions. I also have a group coaching class available, which is a lot of fun. So if you would like to kind of like test out coaching, and maybe you're not sure if you want to, do one-on-one yet, that's a good entry point for that. Twin Flame Ascension School is beneath this video, the mirror exercise, all the things. Mind alignment process, which is great for trauma healing, that's beneath this video as well. And yeah, like I said, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.